The tank was supposed to die decades ago. Missiles got smarter, warheads got deadlier. Drones began hunting from above. Experts said armor was finished, too heavy, too slow, too exposed. They were wrong, because the tank didn't just add thicker steel. It learned to think. It learned to react. It learned to intercept death mid-air. Explosive bricks, electronic eyes, active protection systems that shoot first. Every time someone built a better tank killer, the tank built a better shield. So here's the uncomfortable truth. If anti-tank weapons keep evolving, why are tanks still rolling into modern battlefields? Everyone knows tanks are vulnerable. They're big, they're loud, they glow on thermal cameras like a bonfire in the dark. Modern battlefields swarm with precision weapons, top attack missiles, loitering drones, fire and forget systems. The narrative sounds clean. Missile beats armor, agile beats heavy, cheap beats expensive. That belief hardened after Iraq, after Afghanistan, after every viral clip of a tank erupting into fire. You've seen the footage. Turret blown sky high, crew gone in seconds. So the conclusion feels obvious. Tanks are targets. But this is where most people get it wrong. They're watching explosions. They're not watching adaptation. Let's be honest. The math looks brutal. A modern anti-tank guided missile costs a fraction of a main battle tank. One infantryman can harry it. He hides, he fires, he relocates. Platforms like the American-made FGM-148 Javelin changed the psychology of war. Lock, launch, leave. No guidance wire, no exposed gunner. Attack from above, where armor is thinnest. Then came drones, cheap quadcopters with explosives, loitering munitions diving vertically. Systems like the Turkish Bayraktar TB2 showed the world how exposed armored columns could look from 10,000 feet. You saw convoys burn. You saw tanks abandoned. The logic writes itself. If everything can see you, and everything can hit you, how do you survive in a 60-ton box? That's the trap. Because vulnerability is not the same as helplessness. Armor never relied on thickness alone. That era ended decades ago. Modern tanks fight with layers: steel, composite, explosive reactive armor, electronic warfare, active protection systems. Let's talk about the moment everything shifted. Active protection systems. Not armor that absorbs, systems that intercept. Israel fielded the trophy on the Merkava Mark IV. Incoming missile, radar detects it, computer calculates trajectory, countermeasure fires. Threat destroyed before impact. That changes the equation. Now the missile doesn't just need penetration, it needs survival. This is the quiet revolution. Not thicker armor, smarter defense. And once that happened, vulnerability became conditional, not guaranteed. Let's step into reality. Gaza and southern Lebanon. Israeli armor operated under constant ATGM threat. Hezbollah deployed advanced anti-tank missiles. Yet tanks equipped with trophy intercepted incoming rounds repeatedly. Crews survived hits that would have been catastrophic a decade earlier. That matters. Because survival isn't about never getting shot. It's about staying in the fight. Now look at Ukraine. The war between Russia and Ukraine turned into the world's most intense armored laboratory. Early in the war, Russian tanks suffered catastrophic losses. Poor logistics, no infantry support, exposed flanks. Systems like the NLAW and Javelin punished them. Social media declared tanks obsolete again. But then adaptation began. Cope cages appeared. Improvised, yes, but signaling something important. Tanks evolve under pressure. Electronic warfare increased. Drones jammed. Reactive armor multiplied. Newer Russian platforms like the T-90M integrated improved protection packages. On the Ukrainian side, Western-supplied Leopard 2 and M1 Abrams entered a battlefield saturated with drones and ATGMs. Losses happened. Of course they did. But here's what doesn't go viral. Tanks absorbing hits. Tanks returning fire. Tanks recovering mobility after strikes. Survivability is messy. It doesn't trend. But it decides ground battles. And despite the missile hype, neither side abandoned armor. They doubled down. That tells you everything.
Tanks were never invincible. They were always vulnerable. That was built into their design. A tank treats stealth for shock. It trades subtlety for presence. The real question was never, can it be killed? Everything can be killed. The question is, can it survive long enough to dominate the ground? Modern defense systems change that calculation. Active protection forces missile designers back to the drawing board. Electronic countermeasures blind drones. Layered armor buys seconds. Seconds win firefights. Here's the uncomfortable part. Infantry without armored support dies faster. Territory without armored pressure rarely changes hands. Air power can strike. Artillery can suppress. Drones can harass. But when you want to hold a street, a trench line, a city block, you still send something armored. This is where most analysts hesitate. They confuse visibility with weakness. Yes, tanks get filmed. Yes, tanks burn. But war isn't about optics. It's about outcome. And tanks still shape outcomes. Now the game escalates. Missiles adapt. They add tandem warheads. They coordinate swarm attacks. Defense systems respond with faster sensors, smarter interceptors, networked protection bubbles. Imagine armored units sharing threat data in real time. One tank detects, another counters. Imagine AI predicting launch signatures before radar even locks. This isn't science fiction. It's already under development. The future tank won't just carry armor. It will carry software. But here's the tension. What happens when drones become autonomous swarms? When hundreds attack simultaneously? When defense systems run out of interceptors? We're approaching a saturation war. Steel versus swarm. Interceptors versus algorithms. Tanks survived missiles. They adapted to drones. But the next battlefield won't just test armor. It will test networks. And if defense systems changed vulnerability once, what happens when the offense becomes fully autonomous? Are we about to witness the end of single vehicle dominance and the rise of something far more dangerous?